Do I have a treat for you? Let's go! What's up, everybody? It's me, your boy, the tantalizing one, of course, here on a Thursday night. I bet you ask yourself, cut the music. What are you doing here on a Thursday night? Thursday's your night off. There's no wrestling on Thursday. What is Impact? We don't do Impact. You know, listen, here's the thing. I know you guys can't live without me. I know how much you love the channel. I know you guys have very mundane lives. No, I'm just joking, guys. Just joking. I'm here for a reason. Other than being your YouTube champion, it's not about me. I got to plug myself, of course. It's a very special night because we have an interview from a great friend of mine. Before you introduce him, let's bring a guy that was in the show last night, a couple of days ago, whenever he was here, who cares? Also known as Frodo Baggins. He's probably Frodo's doppelganger. But let's bring my friend in, the lovely, lovely Paul Lauria, the ultimate one. Hello, Paul. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. Thanks for having me back. It's a pleasure. Glad I could enjoy your show last night as well.
The pleasure is all yours. You're right, sir. Real talk, real, as they say in the hood, real talk. It was an honor to have you on. You had a lot of great analogies, great, perspective on things I really don't look at because I don't delve into the business like you. I'm more of like, let's see an elbow drop and let's get the 1, 2, 3. And I'm not caring about the backstage stuff and the in-depth thing. That's your deal. And that's why you're here. And that's why I have you here tonight. That being said, Paul Lauria, we know this guy. His name is Robert Franklin, right?
Yes.
Who is Robert Franklin exactly, sir?
Robert Franklin was first and foremost a fan of wrestling, just like all of us. He was then I know he was involved with a little bit of writing. I think he wanted to do more of like a newsletter type writing. Now, this goes back probably close to 30 years, which means this was way before the internet. You know, this was like legit writing down in a notepad type of stuff. I met Robert Franklin. I couldn't tell you the exact show, but I met him after a show one time, introduced himself. Super nice guy. We invited him out to come grab a bite after the show with all the boys. And from then it took off. He was literally has done everything in this business that you could want to do. He paid his dues more than anybody. He was ring crew. He was ring announcer. He would drive us to Philly sometimes for ECW shows when no one else wanted to drive, and he was the driver. He used to, I'll give him props on this one. He was awesome at bringing us food for the shows in the locker room. He was either at a Chinese food place or a pizza place. He'd show up with a ton of food. And then he decided he wanted more. And Robert Franklin put the work in. He got himself into the ring. He started training. And he ended up starting to work with us. And through the years, he's made his mark in wrestling. And this weekend, he wrestled his last match 4 years ago. And now, 4 years later, Robert Franklin returns to NYWC this Saturday night.
So, great introduction, sir. So, without further ado, our friend, NYWC superstar, Big Daddy himself, Robert Franklin.
Hey, guys, what's going on tonight?
How's it going, brother?
Are you in a limousine right now? Are you styling and profiling like Ric Flair? What the hell?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In the back of the car, head into the wrestling building to check out some of the people tonight.
Okay. Well, first things I want to know is this. Whatever your limo company is, I'm very mad because I run a bus company and I could have got you a better deal. That's okay. But, I digress. Listen, we're really happy to have you here, but let me give you my personal thing first, okay? We've known each other for the better part of 30 years. We met because of wrestling, but that's not why we're friends. We're friends because of who you are and what you bring to the table, not in wrestling, but in life. You're a great husband. Not to me, but you're a great father. I know this because I'm your friend. I see your social media. We talk. And on a personal level, bro, I look up to you, even though I'm a little older than you, because you're the kind of guy I strive to be.
I really appreciate that.
I'm not BSing you, okay? This is some real talk right here. You know me, you went through the same thing, and I'm not gonna pull any punches. We had the same surgery. Of course, Paul helped me out and talked to me about this, but you were the guy who was like, yo, Tony, you better stay on point. You better do what you gotta do. It's not a joke. Don't play around. Stay on your diet. Follow the doctor. And, because of you, I'm here. So I love you for that. I'm so proud of you beyond words because you are now, I came out of retirement because of you. And I brought Craig Bosch out of retirement because of you. So I'm looking forward to seeing you Saturday to see what you can do. But you know me, I gotta one up you. So you better bring it to the show or I'm gonna ridicule you. I don't play no games. I love you, but you'll go down like a $2 whore on the corner of 42nd Street. So that being said, Paul.
Wait. Hold on a second. Just to be clear, what you're trying to say, Tony, is that you can do better than Robert can? Are you saying that when you get in the ring, you would upstage him? Are you saying that sometime in the near future, we're going to see you back in the ring with Robert Franklin?
Here's the plan, okay? I'm not going to BS you guys. In 2022, I'm getting back in the ring. I don't know what ring I'm getting into. I got a couple things going on here in Delaware, but if Robert Franklin is still going to be wrestling in April or May of 2022, and this is a shoot, I got no problem kicking your ass. That's not about today. Let's keep it professional.
Tony, you know the address, 435 Brook Avenue, Deer Park, Long Island. Whenever you're ready, I'll be there.
Shots fired. Okay. You guys, Paul, ask your first question because I got a surprise from him as well in about 30 seconds. You just keep talking, guys. Hope you guys can still see me.
All right. So Robert, I do have a question for you. Obviously, like I stated earlier, we have an entire lifetime of history together. I was there when you first broke in the ring. I was there when you first broke, I believe, your neck for the first time. I have nothing but respect for what you've done. You've paid your dues in every way possible. You have, I mentioned this to Tony earlier, you were ring crew, you were ring announcer, you were manager. You did everything you needed to do. Then you finally got in the ring. I know this firsthand because if someone was to ask me about my wrestling career, easily within my top 3 favorite moments of all time was the pop that Big Daddy got in a match that the two of us had together. And it might have been one of your first times in the ring, if I'm not mistaken. So I am extremely happy for you. But what is the motivating factor? Let's go right to it. What is the motivating factor for you to come out of retirement after 4 years to do this one more time?
The real motivating factor is that I really wanted to wrestle in my 50s. I recently lost 120 pounds. And
Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm in better shape in like the last 25 years. This is the best I've felt in a long time. So I wrestled in my 20s. I wrestled in my 30s. I wrestled in my 40s. And now that I'm 50, I decided maybe, if Shane, the owner of NYWC, gave me a call, I might do something. And then one of the kids that used to work for me at my pizzeria, who used to be a tag team partner of mine, started chirping in the locker room. And I got wind of it. And it kind of made it an easy way to come back.
Well, don't hold back. Who's chirping? Who's running their mouth?
Dirk Moore. Dirk Moore and I were a part of a faction back in the day, and the Dirty Rednecks. And the year I won the Psycho Circus Battle Royal, the Joker's Wild Battle Royal, and I climbed the ladder and I got the tag belts in my hand. As I was coming off that ladder, he ripped them from my hand. And that day, I knew he wasn't for me because he wouldn't let me have my moment to shine.
All right.
And so,
I like it.
And so now in the locker room, he's talking that, there's these old guys that keep coming in and they're taking up chairs in the locker room. And I just don't like the disrespect. And so I had to make something happen.
All right. It's an old school approach to a new school generation. I agree with you, but I think you and I might be in the minority with that. We are the old school guys. I know this generation is a lot different. They view the locker room a lot differently. I do not spend as much time in the locker room as you do. I know that. But what's your take on this younger generation? Is it time that you're just going to show them that they need to learn to respect the guys that paved the way for them?
The idea is that when you walk in the locker room, your hand's supposed to be shaking as a vet. They're supposed to come over, say hello. I like that aspect, but I'm not I'm not that, I walk up to people myself. I don't have to wait for them to come over to me. I'll approach them and shake their hand, introduce myself. I know they're the new generation, but guys like me and you guys paved the way for this business on Long Island. A lot of us owe, not just as fans, but the workers themselves, owe a lot to Mikey Whipwreck. If you ever shake that Mikey Whipwreck tree, you're going to find a lot going on in this business. And he doesn't get all the just due he deserves. And maybe this is kind of the way we show, and help him get his name back out there and show him that, the old school does still run hard.
I'm glad you said the old school still runs hard, because it's a lot of things going on with ageism nowadays, where people think when you're 40 or 50 you can't do things. People want to give Sting a hard time. The guy's 62 years old, and can he take the same bumps he took before? No. But Sting's a prime example of an older guy, of a guy that helped pave the way, who is still relevant in the business today. Now, I know Paul's like shocked by what I'm saying right now. He's like, my God, Tony sounds so great. I'm just repeating the words Paul says. I'm written down right here. But my point is this, is that you're never too old to fulfill your dreams, to make your dreams come true. And that's what this is about. That's what my channel is about too. It's about making a dream come true. People never thought I'd get to 3,000, and I'm almost there in 8 months. So my thing to you, Robert Franklin, as much as I know I could kick your ass, my respect for you is like this. You don't let anybody deter you from what's in front of you, because I want you to kick ass on Saturday. I want you to be at the top of your game. I want you to be all you can be, like the Army says, but I also want you to have a good time. And I want you to make sure you remember you suck in this moment, because your kids and your wife, they are so proud of the man you are, and you're going to forget how the match is. Just to step into that ring again and to feel the roar of that crowd, to feel the people, that's going to be one of the greatest days of your life. It really is. And on Mikey Whipwreck, he doesn't get enough credit. He really doesn't. And I'll be the first to say I'm maybe even guilty of not putting his name out there a little more. Maybe a little jealousy out there on my part. I ain't afraid to say it, Look at this guy. This guy, Mikey Whipwreck, a regular-looking guy. Looks like some guy that worked at Home Depot. The guy was a Triple Crown champion ECW. So maybe there's a little jealousy there. I ain't afraid to say it. But the guy has went through wars. His body has suffered for it over the course of time. If anybody watching the show now or when this is taped, you think wrestling's easy, I dare you, I implore you, please try it. If you live in my area, there's a ring right down the street in Claymont, 950 Ridge Road, Ultimate Wrestling Academy. You catch me every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday taking bumps. If you think it's easy, come get it, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds. Come get it from a 53-year-old guy. This guy's 50 years old doing his thing. Regardless of what I think he can do against me, this guy is the truth. I got a little surprise for you. Maybe it's not a surprise. I'm going to bring in my future tag team partner, the flawless one, Craig Bosher, also known as Flawlessly Tantalizing. And there he is. Talk to your boy.
What's up?
There he is.
Hello, gentlemen.
What's happening, brother?
Robert Franklin, I am extremely excited on your comeback this Saturday. I want you to know that recently my son has gotten into NYWC. So I will be there to see you with my son We know
That's
each
all.
other. I think we know each other long enough where I could be there for you when you decide to come back after all this time. So I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited for you, brother.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited that you guys are all going to be there. It's really something I always wanted, get the boys back and do something,
Yeah,
hint, hint.
a little older, but we're back.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Yeah,
wine,
just a little.
fine wine sits for a long time and it gets better. We are aged because we just, oh my God, what's this guy? We look great still to this day. I gotta say this, honest to God truth. You guys look great, I dare say you're looking tantalizing. But we got a comment from Stephen Paul. He says, yes, 100 agree with you. Lack of respect from the younger generation and not registering in their brain that you old timers paved the way for the younger crowd. So thank you. You're old timers. I guess
Old-timers.
it's true.
I'm not sure who he's talking about.
Me neither. But Ravish Richie, the Redeemer, my CEO, says this is awesome. He's really you are. I know this sounds really it sounds really like me, conceited, but me out of the picture, this is not bullshit. Okay. Those three guys are the reason why I'm even in the ring today. And those are three legends right there, regardless if you ever seen them on TV or not. These guys have been in wars in the ring you guys have never seen. I've seen stuff that you guys wish you've seen on TV, that you wish you had on the catalog, on the WWE Network, on Peacock. These guys have been in wars. I've seen Mikey Whipwreck get backdropped into a pool from Paul Warrior or vice versa. I've seen the Flawless One take bumps you guys wish that other wrestlers you could see them take. I see Robert Franklin spine bust a guy almost through the ring. I've seen stuff you guys have never seen before because of Hardcore Wrestling Alliance, because of NYWC. I implore you guys, check out NYWC. TONYNESE came from there. Matt Cardona, also known as Woo Woo Woo, you know it. Zach Ryder, Kurt Hawkins. There are some great. Paul, keep the line going. John Silver, right?
Alex Reynolds, John Silver, Trent Beretta, and then you have the second. The next generation, which was, Brian Myers now has a school of his own, which, has generated some really incredible talent, some of the best talent out there. An MJF, a Chris Statlander, these guys, as Robert said earlier, it all stems from one person, and that's Mikey Whipwreck. So I think there's a time and a place where we should regroup, and we can do a nice episode on paying homage to Mikey Whipwreck. And listen, I have a very, very long history with Mikey Whipwreck. I was the Marty Jannetty to Mikey Whipwreck. He went on to be the superstar. I have nothing but the utmost respect, and I think he might be the most underappreciated and under-acknowledged talent in professional wrestling today. But to the point, tonight is about Robert Franklin getting back in the ring this Saturday. And yeah, I think it's been a hell of a journey for this guy who, like I said, I've been by his side through every aspect of him wrestling, whether it was a ring crew, ring announcer, manager, writer, doing the music in the back, driving us, bringing us food, to a guy that got in the ring and hit me with one of the best belly-to-belly suplexes to this day I will ever recall. And it's a pretty special thing. So I can't wait, as well as Craig. My wife will be there. My daughter will be there. It's not something I'm going to miss. So I don't think anybody else should be missing this, because this is where wrestling on Long Island came from. This is what it was. People don't realize there's a lot of people that follow your page that watch AEW and WWE right now. There's a lot of people that see, and I say this with the utmost respect, they watch the Darby Allins, they watch the Orange Cassidys, they watch the Marco Stunts, the Jungle Boys, and it's very, very relatable for a kid, for an average-sized kid to say, I'm going to get into this business. Well, back in 1990, that wasn't the case. In 1990, we didn't have that. The smallest wrestler I was ever able to relate to was Jushin Thunder Liger. It was the inspiration for me to get into wrestling. Yeah, I was a huge Sting mark. I had a poster of the Ultimate Warrior on my bedroom wall, but I was never going to be the Ultimate Warrior. I was never going to be Sting. I'm 5'5". I was 140 pounds back then, not now. But the point of the matter is, we had obstacles they didn't have. And what we did in that time frame did pave the way. Shane O'Neill is the owner and operator of NYWC. Shane's words, not my opinion, not anybody here's opinion. His words are, without the HWA, the NYWC doesn't exist. And to a point, that is a little bit true. But realistically, a lot of that lands in the lap of Mikey Whipwreck. Mikey Whipwreck was with us from day one. ECW Ring Crew went on to ECW, his name. He is one of the greatest trainers out there. But the point of the matter is, over the course of 30 years, we did things in wrestling that I dare say a lot of other people couldn't do back in the day. And here we are 30 years later watching one of the originals, Big Daddy Robert Franklin, go back in the ring in his 50s. And that is an impressive feat. And I'm very, very proud of him, and I cannot wait to see this match.
I couldn't have said it better. I think I gave you
I know that because you suck at this.
That's my truth. But one more thing before I bring our next panelist on. Want to also shout out Mike Norman because he didn't get the credit he deserves either. And I want to see Mike Norman back in the ring as well. So, Mike, if you're watching, kick your ass too. But let's talk about another guy who is one of our own, who's a very dear friend of all of ours. He is the owner of Local Pro Wrestling out in Florida. He will give you all his info. My boy, I call him the man with the big feet because his feet are big, bro. You ever seen this dude in sandals? Yo, Frodo, it's like Gandalf compared to you. My boy.
Some call me Shrek, but whatever. I'll deal with Gandalf. Giant,
how's it going?
Ego, Franklin, what's going on, boys?
What's up? What's up?
Now, Les, before you get into all this stuff, tell everybody who you are and what you do and what your deal is, bro.
Trained by Paul and Craig, met Franklin at William Floyd High School at a George Barcelo show. Met him the following weekend at a Farmingdale, I believe it was, fire department show where we went out to Friendlies and watched Paul scarf down some watermelon ice cream. And then
Watermelon.
started training off of Bird Avenue in Ronkonkoma. And that was back in 1996, I believe.
Yeah,
Wow.
The memories.
He's dropping some facts right there. I still get, just so we're clear, every year for my birthday, my wife still gets me a watermelon roll from Friendlies. Les, that was an incredible call right there.
I'm trying to not brighten you guys out here.
Now you're fine, bro.
All right.
So, Les, you also you're a promoter. You own your company, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Back in '99, I started running a promotion called No Name Wrestling because everything in the '90s and early 2000s was extreme, hardcore, violent pro. So I just decided to do something different. Took some time off after my daughter was born. And then 2 years ago on New Year's, my daughter had a resolution to see me wrestle. So I worked the show. And then I saw an uptick in the wrestling business. And I decided to give younger guys a spot to work. We do family-friendly shows, and since I started running shows, we had 2 guys signed with the WWE, thanks to a show I ran where Scotty Too Hottie came out, saw 2 of our talents, and then the following week there were dark matches, and then signed.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Hey, thanks.
Man, congratulations on all your success. You know we talk on a regular basis. Another thing about Les that you guys don't know, this guy knows how to really move down his seats when he's in the arena. But
seat upgrade king. He's the
Upgrade
seat
king.
upgrade king.
the upgrade king. He really is. So let's before we get to questions, I want to bring in now somebody that you guys don't know. Well, Paul met him the other night, and did we lose him? We'll get him back. He'll come back. Well, wait for Ravage Richie. I just want to say,
Tony, before you do something real quick, hey Craig, can you look to the right real quick?
Yeah.
Thanks, Boo. Oh, wrong way. There it is.
This way.
It's like the it's like I'm looking up to Paul.
That was a botch spot right there.
Botch spot.
Hey.
There you go.
Wait, which is it?
It really is a homecoming. Botch spot.
Yeah.
So listen, we're losing Richie. Richie, ever since Richie tried to track down Von Wagner, his connection's been shit, just so you guys know.
Von, that's a weird middle name. Hans von Gruber.
Right.
Francois Lynn.
So
The original.
the original. Let's see if we get Richie in. There we go. Richie. All right, we got Ravage. Look at this. We got Ravage
Hey,
and Richie.
Paul.
Oh,
There we go.
What's up, fellas? What's
What's
going
up, my
on?
brother?
What's going on?
Richie
Yeah,
is
yeah. What's up, Paul? What's going on, Craig?
good,
Can I-
man.
I got Craig on Facebook, by the way, too. I like that he's going to all those theaters and everything. That's cool.
Hey, let me moderate.
Like that.
Everybody calm down. I got to get you out of here. But listen, so this is Ravage Richie. He's my CEO. He's my director of security at all my events I go to because people try to grab my title. This is not a joke. People literally try to grab this title and run with the YouTube championship. It's a $200 belt from freaking TrophySmack.com. Buy your own. Leave me alone. But he definitely this is a joke. He seriously stops people from snatching his title from me. So thank God for Richie. Now I want to bring Richie in for this reason. Richie is a wrestling fan. He's never been in the business like we've been in the business. And I love his take on things. He doesn't know Big Daddy Robert Franklin from a can of paint. But I wanted him to be in on this because I want to see what his take is.
We've met.
They have met. I calm down. I know this. What I'm saying is they don't know each other like we do. He did see an NYWC show for the first time. He brought his lovely girlfriend Dina there. They had a great time. Dina had never been to a wrestling match in her life, and she loved it so much. Now, Richie, as a new guy to the independent scene, to NYWC, when you saw that last show, what'd you think?
I loved it. I love the passion of everybody in there. I love the way the gimmicks are in there. It's not, like I said, it's all about the passion. You got to have a passion for the business, and I think a lot of things, people see what they see on WWE and all that stuff, and even AEW, whatever, but it's guys like Robert Franklin, it's guys like Laurie, it's guys like Tony, it's guys like Craig, it's got even other guys that's not here, the old school, that the legends of, basically like the legends of the underground, you know what I mean? You guys are the building blocks of everything, people, you mentor the young guys, and things like that. You can see that at NYWC, you got older guys in there, but it's about being the veteran presence in the locker room and for those guys. So I enjoy NYWC.
I like that, and I like how you talked about the passion. And Rob, here's my question to you about passion. Is Rob frozen? Is he good?
I'm good.
He's good.
So Rob, the passion for the business, is that one of the main things that brought you back, or was it more of your kids, or what was it? What was the main thing? The main thing that made you want to get back in?
I love wrestling. I do. I love. If anybody ever tells you they don't miss being around the crowd, they're lying. It's a drug that you can't get anywhere else. Someone said that to me the other night, and it set in. It's a drug that you can't get anywhere else. Wrestling is my dealer, and I love it. And eventually, when I do really fade out, I hope that I don't miss it as much as I did the last 4 years. You get that little taste every time, and you want more and more and more. And I have a feeling that's why Paul and Craig, they don't really want to come back, because they don't want to get a taste of that drug and be hooked again.
Well, I think I agree. I always said it's in the blood. You never get rid of it. I think you're born in the business. You're born to do it. I think it takes a certain type of person to do it, a certain type of insanity to do it. I think you're born. It's in the blood. I think you're born to do it. And even when you're out of the business, like me and Paul, almost 20 years, God help us. But even when we're out of the business that long, you're never really out of the business. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
One thing I'm impressed with in wrestling and wrestling fans is their memory. Because it's amazing what they remember, and it's humbling what they remember. You don't think you touch people, or you don't think you reach people, and then you realize 20 years later that you did. And that's something only the business can give you, I think. And it's one of the good parts. As many times there were bad parts, it's one of the good parts of being in the business,
Yep. Yes.
Craig, great words, but I disagree with one thing. I disagree that you have to be born into this to do it. And let me tell you why I disagree. Because personally, I never thought I'd ever be able to do it. I always wanted to be a wrestler from the time I was maybe 7 years old, back in 1920. When I was you guys don't know.
But wrestling was in your blood as a fan. Everyone started as a fan, right? Everyone started like my first thing was seeing Hogan pin Sheik in '84. It's the first match I've ever seen, right? So that's what started. You were a fan. You were born with it, born in the blood. Some people see wrestling, Tony, and say it's ridiculous, right? They shut it off right away. But to me, I mean not born to be a wrestler. I mean born loving wrestling. That's what I mean by that. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Now, if I could comment on this,
Okay.
It's interesting because I think when we use the term the business, I think that could be misconstrued the wrong way. I think some people refer to the business as being a performer. I can tell you right now, I don't miss performing. I do miss the atmosphere. I miss this right here. I miss the boys. I miss creating things, but that was an individual thing. I did not make it in wrestling. I've said on more than one occasion I was never a professional wrestler. I was just a guy who liked to wrestle. I had some cool moments. I got to write this really, really cool little resume of cool moments. Hey, I was in a magazine. Hey, I was on TV. Hey, I wrestled on ECW. Hey, I made the PWI 500. I'm going to stop patting myself in the back right now. But I learned really, really later in life, going back to a conversation that Tony and Robert and I had earlier, I learned that what I truly fell in love with was the creative thing. And, you know, back when we were younger and we were wrestling and Steve Austin was the new hot ticket, right? Everybody wanted to be Steve Austin. But the reality of it is not everybody is Steve Austin. So I found myself on show days or leading into a show for HWA, coming up with really cool ideas and really cool concepts. But at one point I realized these concepts and ideas don't necessarily fit me or my gimmick. And I started to figure out that if I could place that idea on a different worker, hey, that would be really cool if Big Daddy did this, or if King Mega, back then he was, you know, Uncle Phil, did that. If Kid Ego could do this, or if Mikey can do that. And that's where I started to fall in love. So when people ask me about wrestling and they ask me, oh my God, what are your favorite memories of wrestling? My favorite memories, about 4 out of 5 don't include me. It was watching other people basically display an idea or a creative that I had. Now, Les might understand this a lot because now he owns his promotion and he may be the booker and the creator. So Les might be the guy he's writing down these ideas and he's watching them come to life in front of him. I've got to watch that happen with Robert Franklin. I got to watch it happen with Kid. I got to watch it happen with a kid that everybody may know, but back then had no idea, a kid by the name of Amazing Red, who happened to win the HWA World title and didn't know he was winning it until the ref counted 3. So when everybody talks about loving wrestling and missing wrestling, Robert's right. It was like a drug. It was an amazing thing that I look back on, and I have a lot of great memories. But I walk into that school at NYWC, no desire whatsoever to step foot in the ring. But I do love talking to the guys and watching them get in there and display their craft. So when people talk about it, just understand that as a group right now, as 6 guys talking wrestling, when the term loving the business and everything else, it's everything. It's not just in-ring performance. It's the behind the scenes too. Some of the greatest stories and memories we ever had happened not in the ring. I mean, Les just explained it best. Some of those nights at Friendly's or Applebee's are some of the greatest nights we ever had, you know, and that stuff didn't take place in a ring. You guys might remember a night in a company called UCW. And Les, I believe you were there for this one. And Robert, you were definitely there, and Craig was there.
Hit me with one of these.
Well, and the promoter, everybody bailed on the promoter that day. And about 8 people showed up. 8 workers, I mean. So the crowd all bought their tickets, and there was only 8 workers in the back, and the promoter was a little freaked out, saying he had to cancel the show because there were no workers. And we looked at him and said, let us do it. Give us the ball. Let us run. Let us make a show out of this. He said, how in the world can we make a show out of 8 guys? And we said, just let us do it. And I happened to be the UCW lightweight champion at the time, and we decided to do a lightweight wrestling tournament for the first contender for the title. And the other 7 guys worked their asses off in a tournament format and double duty and triple duty. And Storm Life Norman, I believe, became the winner of that match. But those guys killed it that night. And at that point, I knew we all had what it took to do our own thing because there was no way any other group of guys with that camaraderie could have ever pulled something like that off.
It's funny. I have a buddy of mine who runs a promotion as well, and he always asks me, "How is it when I run my shows? Everything just seems smooth going. When he's running around and his shows going crazy." And I always tell him, being in the business so long with the guys that I was in, there was never any problems. Never a problem with the show. There's only solutions. If you have an issue here, there's an easy way to fix it. You just got to come up with it. And I've ran shows as well with 6 people, and I've had 5 matches. And people are like, well, how do you do it? It's just like, you got to tell your story. Everybody thinks you tell a story in the ring, but most don't understand. From the bell, the first bell, from the national anthem, from the time the fans come in, that's when your story begins. When the last fan leaves for that night, that's when your story ends. So if your entire show goes up like that, like you were saying with your lightweight tournament that we worked over for UWC and Ultimate Wrestling Federation in Queens, the fans don't know there's a problem.
Yep.
And people don't realize that. As long as you keep your head cool and you figure everything out and you work through stuff, fans don't know if you blow a spot unless it's blatantly obvious and you chant yourself bad words. But fans don't know those things. If you do it right, wrestling is the most purest form of entertainment there is. From a 4-year-old to a 90-year-old, once they're in that building and you do everything right, they'll come back.
And that's a great point that they'll come back. And speaking of comebacks, right there, we got Robert Franklin this Saturday night, October 30th, at the NYWC Sportatorium. Look who's in this card, man. Look at that. TONYNESE right here, man. He who did we lose?
He's all elite.
Rob's looking good there, man.
That is Rob is looking good right there. But TONYNESE on the card. If you haven't got your tickets and you live in the Long Island area, don't be afraid. But listen, the main event right here is this main event right here. We got Dickie Rods and Big Daddy Robert Franklin going against the Dirty Deeds. And these Dirty Deeds guys, I've seen a few times. They're tough dudes. They're gonna try to kick your ass, Rob. What's your game plan?
The game plan is obviously to win and teach them a lesson. Teach them a little respect. They keep saying we don't belong in the locker room. We keep taking up space. Well, I'm going to belong in the locker room on Saturday night, and I'm going to take up his space. That's what's going to really happen.
Paul, what do you, Paul? I want to ask you. No, let me go to Les first, and I'll come back to Paul. Les, you got these 4 gentlemen are on your card, right?
Right.
And you got to pick a winner. And don't say because Robert's here. What do you think he's got to do? What do you think he's got to do to get this dub? And can he get this dub? Can he get this win? Is Dickie Rods a good enough partner? And Robert Franklin being out for so long, can he keep up? Can he keep up?
Well, we could do this several ways. We can go the Goodman route, and like I say, who sold the most tickets? We can go figure it out in the ring. But to me, the way I look at it, I don't know. I think it's going to be Franklin over there taking the pinfall in the center of the ring. But listen, see, it's all about the story, because the comeback is always stronger than a setback, right? So if you get pinned 1, 2, 3 by one of the Dirty Deeds guys, and it's not clean, now you can work a second match out of that and say me and you 1-on-1, no outside interference. Let's have a match, a singles match. So that's setting up future bookings. It's never just about doing the match today. If you're planning on coming back, let's say they do a show December 12th, I'm throwing a date out there. And now they have a reason for the fans to come back, because Franklin was screwed over when the guy pinned him with his feet on the ropes, killed his comeback. Well, now Franklin's pissed, still looks strong, and then you set up a rematch. So me as a promoter, the guy who's been hyped up the most takes the pinfall and leaves with the loss.
And that's why I asked Les first, because I wanted to see what Paul's rebuttal was going to be because his face, he's licking his chops. So, Paul, go ahead.
Hey, Richie, remember last night we were fantasy booking everything? So listen, I like what Les is saying, but here's the truth of this. The fact of the matter is Robert Franklin is the only person right now who knows what happens after Saturday. And none of us know that. So I can only go by what I know, and that's that he's going to come back and wrestle Saturday night after 4 years. Now, in a perfect world, would I love to see him stand tall in front of his children, get his hand raised? Yeah, that would be a great moment. But I look at this differently, and if we're going to talk about fantasy booking, the story that's being told to me is about respect. The story is these younger generation need to learn respect for Robert Franklin, for the guys who paved the way before them. Respect doesn't have to come in the form of being beaten. It doesn't have to come in the form of them losing. Respect is going to come in the form of them realizing that I'm sorry, Big Daddy. You were right. I was wrong. You're a tough son of a bitch who has paved the way for us. So, me personally, I probably would love to see a Rocky-style story. I would love to see them take him to the limit, no quit, no giving up. But if he does die out, if he does get pinned in the end, it's because he laid every single thing he had on the line out there, because that's what workers in our day did. We didn't always have to go out there and do all the fancy high spots. And I hate sounding like that guy that's yelling on his lawn, "Get off my lawn, kids." But the truth of the matter is, it's not always about diving in the crash and burn spots. And yes, we've done them a bunch of times. But I kind of would like to see Robert Franklin take the pinfall, but gain the respect of the guys that he beat, gain the respect of the fans. I'd have more respect for him going in there after 4 years, laying everything he had out on the line, putting it all out on the table. Whether he wins or not is irrelevant to me. It's about the display that he puts on. Because I got to tell you right now, I don't know much about the kids he's working, but I do question, do they have what it takes to go the distance? Would they put on the line what Robert's about to put on the line on Saturday night? And I don't know that they would do that. So that's what I want to see Robert do. I want to see Robert put it all out there. Now, that's only if I was booking. But like I said, to see him stand tall with his children in the crowd, with Michael there, with Craig's kids there, with everybody from the past there, that's a pretty good feel-good moment, and I'd be totally fine. If that's the last we see of him in the ring, then that's what I want to see. But if he's coming back, I got to go less on this. I want a little bit of a comeback story after the fact. He can gain the respect, but there's still a little bit of a grudge because he didn't get the W.
Both you guys, I thought Paul might have a little bit of a disagreement with Les. Kind of shocked me when he agreed. But you guys always look at the business.
First time for everything, Tony.
That is true. You guys look at the business from the introspective view as you're looking for tomorrow. Okay, so what does this do for the next show? And what does this do to build the story? Which is great. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I love Robert Franklin as a person. I think he's a great dude. I think Saturday, he gets his ass kicked. I think he's not ready. I think that he doesn't have a shot in hell to beat Dirty Deeds. I've seen Dirty Deeds. I've seen them beat the living crap out of people. I've seen them spit at little kids. I've seen them call me names. You know, I'm not afraid of anybody, but the guy with the beard made me a little nervous getting close to my daughter. I was ready about to go for the Glock, like on Anderson. But like I said, Robert Franklin, I respected he's come back. I respected that he is doing everything to make his dream come true. But guess what? Dreams turn into nightmares, and I honestly believe that Robert Franklin doesn't have what it takes to get the job done. I'm just saying.
I totally disagree with you. Totally. Tony, you come from the streets, right?
I'm from the streets. I still live in the streets.
From the streets.
Main streets of Delaware.
And you have some stories on if you were going to shoot with us right now, you got some stories about some obstacles you've had in your life, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
What's your point?
You took a beating. You took a bullet. You took a knife, right?
I have.
Yeah.
And your point.
So my point is this. Robert Franklin has taken a beating in the past. I was in the ring in his first year training when he took a backwards roll and broke his own neck.
Okay.
And came back and trained and worked and continued on. I put a chair over that kid's head on more than one occasion, and he's come back. He's been in the ring with Mikey Whipwreck. He's come back. I've watched him go through things that I don't think these kids have gone through yet.
I'm not disputing that he's tough.
I don't know. In a world of attrition,
I'm not disputing. Let's not get into an argument between me and you. I'm not disputing that the kid's tough. The guy's tough. He's tough as nails. He's tough. But this is what I'm saying. Being tough and wanting something that's me gonna get it. I'm just being a real friend to him. I respect him. But respect and reality are two different things. In reality, Rob hasn't been in the ring in how long? 4 years? And he came back what? He's back with 6 months after surgery. You think he's gonna do something? I want to hear you stand up and what does he have to say? He's messing with his phone. He's going. What does he have to say? I want to hear from him. And I'm not.
Hold on a second. He's delivering a pizza right now.
That's funny. Let me say something. Tone.
Go ahead.
You come down to the gym on Saturday night. You watch the show, and you're gonna see what's in store for you in 2022. I may be old and weathered and beaten, but this old dog got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. And you're going to find out in 2022 just how many tricks I can teach you.
So, okay, Rob, don't put the cart before the horse. Get through Saturday first before you get with me. And like I said, I do respect you. I do love you as a person. I'm just saying, getting in the ring after all this time off, I don't think you're ready. I don't think you're ready to do it. And I'm going to call a spade a spade. And I hope to God you impress me and impress your family. But I think you're going to kick your ass Saturday.
There's no chance I'm losing. Not a chance in the world. These young guys are going to get taught a lesson. You know that. I know that. Paul knows that. And Les knows that because he teaches guys a lesson on a daily basis.
Especially the city council.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Tony, let's not forget one thing here. There's two guys here cutting promos on each other, but only one of them has the balls to get in the ring.
Hey, listen, let's. I'm the only one with a show here. If you keep talking, you'll be canceled. You know, it's not about balls.
Here he comes with the cancel culture.
Here we go. You hurt my feelings. I got to shut you off. Ouch.
I'm not saying that doesn't have courage. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying he has the balls. I'm not saying that he's not tough. I'm saying this. I'm saying I don't believe that he's ready to get in this situation with Dirty Deeds. Forget Dickie Rods. Okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to call it the way I see it. Dickie Rods is not even a factor to me. I think Rob can handle both these guys by himself, but Dickie Rods is to me, he's not even in the picture. He's invisible. I don't think at the end
Hey, easy how you talk about my tag team partner like that, buddy.
When the bell rings, from bell to bell can Rob go. When at that 3 count, is he going to be on the top? I think he's going to be on the bottom, and I think they're going to embarrass him. And I'm just saying this. And it's you guys know I call it the way I see it. I'm not afraid of any of you guys. I love you to death. Rob's going to get his ass kicked on Saturday.
Keep thinking that. You'll be surprised. I don't get my ass kicked. Nobody.
Rob, I see the fire in your eyes. I see that you get a little upset, and that's what I want to get out of you. It's cool. I love you, know that. But I'm just going to say this.
He's got a sexy ear.
He does have a sexy ear. I want to make sure, Rob, that you're ready for what you get into because you can still pull out of this before you embarrass yourself. I'm just saying.
Hey, Tony,
we both know our pull-out game sucks, Tone. You know that, and I know that.
Say it again, Rob.
I said you know both our pull-out game sucks. I'm in this to the end.
Mine's worse than yours. But what'd you say, Les?
I was going to say you shouldn't be talking about pulling out with your 35 kids.
Hey, first of all, let's get it right. I've only got 7. Leave me alone. So anyway,
only 7
that he knows of.
Hey, listen, I was sexy in the 90s. What do you want me to say? But I wanted to go back in history in time a little bit, just so you guys a couple of pictures of Rob back in the day. That's not him. That's TONYNESE. Here we go. This is Rob and his other gimmick. What was this, Rob?
That's Francois Lynn. Francois Lynn.
Who's that upside down guy?
That's Paul Laurie and his dirt.
Yeah, that might be Paul.
No.
Payback.
That's Storm and Norman right there. That's lightning bolt on his
Oh, yeah, it
tight.
is.
Oh yeah, the lightning
you're
bolt
right.
on his trunks.
Yeah.
What exact? This looks like some kind of S&M move you had going on. What is this, bro?
A little underhanded tactics, maybe. You
How
know.
small is that ring?
I definitely know about the unhinged tactics. And this is Loria, Mike Norman, and Shane. Where are you guys for this? Is this the Hall of Fame thing?
That fat fuck on the left. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, that might have been the Psycho Circus in 2019.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is recent. This is a couple months ago, right?
Yeah.
And we're much slimmer now than we were then.
That's a good picture. I love that picture.
And this is another one. I didn't have a picture of Les because Les is so tall, his head's cut off, so it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
But just a little couple nostalgic pictures that you can see, everybody. So let's get to the nitty gritty and let's get our final thoughts. Sorry, guys, I'm having problems with my mouse. My producer's upstairs doing homework. Oh shoot, sorry, cut you guys out. Sorry.
There I am.
There we go. I'm gonna be in the big picture. I'm joking. So Les, you go first.
Yeah.
Does
Final
Big
thoughts.
Daddy Big Daddy have what it takes? Does he have what it takes? Can he get the job done?
You are talking to a former tag team specialist who is smart enough to let his tag team partner take all the heat. All I did was open the match. Then I come tag out, let my partner take all the heat, come in for the hot tag, let my partner get the finish. We both got paid the same. So hopefully Franklin's smart enough to let the other guy do all the work and just come in for the hot tag as a big baby should. That's making it. And then, like I said, my guess is underhanded tactics or dirty deeds is what I might call it, where Franklin gets screwed out of the pin. Still looking strong, but taking the loss.
Mr. Loria.
Listen, we could fantasy book all day long. All I want to say is that I am beyond proud of this guy
Exactly.
for the work that he's put in, not only with the weight loss after the surgery and everything else, but the fact that at this day and age that he wants to go back, do it one more time. He's putting the work in. He's been down at the gym. I've seen it. And it's time. It's here. It's 48 hours away we're at this point. So I consider ourselves blessed to be able to be there and see this. I'm looking forward to it. And regardless of the outcome, I can't wait to see how this whole thing goes. And knock him dead, man. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Before I let you have the last words, Rob, and we sign off, I'm going to say this. Before I put you over, I'm going to bury you first. This is what you're going to hear at the end of the night.
That's not true, dude. He's selling tickets.
That's true. No, all jokes aside, forget the whole shtick and the back and forth. As I look at cars drive by,
I'm sorry, I can't hear my phone.
I got you. Don't worry about it. You, Robert Franklin, we are beyond proud of you. For the people that watched the show tonight, and let me tell you how many it was, and this was a non-WWE or AEW or a New Japan event, and it was a last-minute thing, and people came to watch. I'll tell you how many viewers we had. We had, wow, for not promoting the show, we had 40 viewers that quick, so and people will see it on the replay later. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. The
That's
notification.
28 more than I had at the first show I was ever at.
There you go. I want to say this to you. Saturday is your night. It's about you. I'm going to make sure that I can promote this as much as I can for you. Hopefully, I can live stream this for you, for my live viewers. I'm going to put it up there. If I can't, I'm doing it anyway. I don't care. I do what I want to do. I'll take a copyright strike for you. I don't care. You got this, okay? You got this.
Take your time.
Take your time. You're right. But on a personal note, you better get the job done, bro, because you did say something to me. You said in 2022, I'm going to get what they got. I'm promising you this, and I'm looking into the camera. I want you to look at me. You better do what you said you're going to do to them, because I'm promising you, when all is said and done, in April, May, June, whatever it is of 2022, you're gonna wish Dirty Deeds put you down, because I'm gonna put you out of your misery and you're gonna retire for good. That being said, Robert, you have the last words.
First of all, I want to thank you for having me on. As much as of a big mouth you are, you did put me on tonight. I appreciate that.
I love you.
I want to thank all my boys for coming out and supporting me on here tonight. It was a great surprise to see all of you. And just tell the fans, come out this Saturday, October 30th in Deer Park. Me and Dickie Rods are going to put on a show and teach these young guys a little bit of a lesson. And then in 2022, you and me, Tone, we can do this.
Well, I got a ring and a show anytime you guys want. Like I said, we could do Francois Lynn, Hans von Groover versus Tantalizing Tony and Kid Ego, and have Paul Laurie as a ref. This way we all look big.
I like it. Everybody, Saturday night at 7 p.m., I will live stream this match. Not the event, this match. We'll have interviews. We'll have live interviews. He will do a live interview before his match. I'll get him at some point. There will be all kind of interactive things going on. Saturday night, October 30th. Doors open at 6. If you need tickets, you can hit Robert Franklin up on Facebook or hit me up on Facebook, and I'll hit him at the NYWC Sportatorium, 435 Brook Avenue, Deer Park, New York, 11729. Tickets, general admission are $25. Front row is $30. This is going to be a great event. Robert Franklin coming out of retirement with his tag team partner, Dickie Rods, going against those two Dirty Deeds guys. They look like they're two backward waters guys from Mudlick, Kentucky. I hope that you got what it takes to finish this and get the job done. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Robert Franklin, your day is Saturday. You got this. Paul Lauria, thank you so much for always keeping me humble and teaching me about the business. Les, thank you for getting me down the third row at WrestleMania every year. You are the man.
What I do.
And I want to thank myself because I produced the show on my own without Kira. I think I did a great job.
That's why the show kind of fell apart, I think.
Listen,
We need Kira 30%. Hey, Kira Mania.
we lost Robert Franklin. It's okay. Thank you all for joining us. Tomorrow night, SmackDown, AEW Rampage, live watch along, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern time, right here with your boy, the Tantalizing One. I thank you, Kira, for doing nothing all night. Shout out to my boy, Mikey. It's been a great night, everybody. Thank you, Les. Appreciate you. Thank you, Paul. Robert Franklin. Great bullshit.
Peace, brothers.
I am your boy, the YouTube champion, Tantalizing Tony, and of course, do what I do best, and that's what? Wait, cut the music. Say it, Mike. What he say?